Hello, 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 hello. Good morning, afternoon, or evening, and welcome back to another motivational video of building a house in Ghana. Today, we find ourselves back in the East Legon Hills project where we are putting up this two apartment bedroom for one of our subscribers here on the channel. This is the episode 5, and we will be doing the foundation filling and also the foundation compacting. And if it is your first time here, we are still at the early stage, so you can go to my playlist, and then the name, like I said, is East Legon Hills Project. Then you can follow, how we started with the whole and what we've done and how we've gotten to this point and what we will be doing in the future. So if you really like what you see about the end of today's episode, please don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you haven't, for latest updates of this project.
So far, so good. This is where we've gotten to East Legon Hills project. This is where we've gotten to. Filling is complete. Filling work is complete. We are done with the filling work. We are now waiting for the filling material to settle. As we wait for the rainfall, we will also be putting water on it manually. So we wait in about a week. Then we bring our compacting machine to compact and level the filling material. Then we'll be ready for the concrete work. Before we do that, we will be laying the polythene sheet on top of it all over before we do the concreting work. So this is it. We wait in about a week, then for it to settle very well. Then as we are putting water on it, we ready to then in addition to the water that we apply on it manually, bring water to the part for it to settle very well before we bring the compacting machine to do the leveling and the compacting. Then hopefully if it doesn't rain from now till next week or at the end of the beginning of next month, then we start the concreting work. Then we take off from there. So this is
You are once welcome to the East Legon Hills project. We left it for some time at the mercy of the rain because the rain is falling here now. You could see all the grass are growing. There is water in them. The water in the grass here. You could see on the height, but there are still water around. So it's even difficult for the materials to come in. As we are bringing materials, you could see where even the car could only come to. We left it for the rain for it to settle a little before we put water into it and then compact it. You can see where how far of the stone and sand have been deposited. You can see even the car stack was somewhere the far end over there. So that makes work very difficult when coming to work at the places like this. When it rains, it's very difficult for a very heavy truck to get here. Yes. So this is where we are now. But we try our best, focus on it, and then by next week We do what we're supposed to do and then cast it, because it can't remain like this too. So you can see some of the rainwaters around. So that's it. Thank you. So we started watering it. So it can settle down well. Then for next week, working on it will be easier. When they settle well before compact it, it will settle well. Then no vibration will be under the concrete. I have to pour water for it to melt down, everything melting down. That's what we are doing now.
So that was Engineer Sammy for you, taking us through the process, especially, building in the rainy season can be a bit of a challenge, that's why I always say you should take advantage of the rain. Like I've been saying in my previous videos that, you don't start your foundation, the digging during the rainy season, getting to the rainy season, you start, then you do your filling, then, the rain can help you to settle it a little bit whilst you are filling it. I also shared a tip on how we were filling this foundation because of the challenge of the rain. We couldn't bring, the heavy truck couldn't come closer to, the site. And this is something I would also like to share. This is a tip for, each and every one of us who is going to buy a land, or if you've bought a land and you haven't seen it during the rainy season, this is the time. Just send someone there to just make a video. This is what like, this is the time you see the nature of the land, whether it's a waterlogged area, it's a rocky land, whatever land it is, whether it has clay in it, this is the time you will see it. During the dry season, you don't see all of those things. You go to the land and the land is kind of hard and stuff, and you think, oh, this is a good land. But when it rains, that is where you will get a challenge. And it is not about, your land per se, but maybe the land around it, because getting to your land is also can also be an issue. Maybe your land is safe, your land is okay, there's no clay in it, it's hard and whatever, but then how to get to your land might be a challenge. Maybe because I've had experience where people cannot even get to their homes. They go to work, it rain, and then they are stuck. They cannot drive their car through, even though their house is safe, but they cannot get to because of the nature of the land, the road, the community. So these are some of the things you can prevent, unless maybe you are in love with the area and you really want to be there, then I can understand. And there are so many ways we can, prevent, flood and those stuff, in your area. So, there are things that we put, like the bitumen, the filling around the compound, it will cost you. It will cost you a little bit money, but that is if you're really in love with the area. So this is a little tip for you. Ask someone to go and make a video of your land during this time of the year so that you prepare yourself. When you go, it is waterlogged, that, hey, foundation has to cost me more because I have to do this and that and that. So this is just by the way. So fast forward, you can see that the compacting is, going on, and you could see how they've compacted. So far everything is getting leveled, and we have some of the guys who are trying to balance where there's a heap. They try to get a level. It's all about teamwork. And one thing also about compacting is sometimes we put much pressure. We put so much water on the foundation, and that's, kind of push the walls, the foundation walls, expand them, and then you have to add concrete to it, and then you're going to put structure on it. And sometimes these are something we don't watch. That's why you see some foundation cracking, during the construction, because the filling, they do filling, they compact it, they do another filling, they compact it, they do filling, they compact it, forgetting that they'll be adding water or it's going to rain, which is going to do the natural compacting. That is why whilst we are filling, it's raining. We do our filling during the rainy season. So when the guys put, the sun in there, the water brings it down naturally. We top up the rain, then when we are ready to do the concrete casting, that is when we go. So you will check, getting to the end of the video, you see how smooth the compacting looks. So this is something we should watch out. Putting much pressure on filling it too much and compacting, putting so much water in there, can also cause damage because you don't calculate the weight of the concrete casting which is coming on top of the filling. That is something we should pay attention to. So I think this will bring us to the end of today's episode. As you can see, next episode we'll be looking at the plumbing work, and that's the team, illustrating how quality materials we use for our building. So don't think that because my cost estimate is a little bit down, that means that we use inferior things on this channel or we don't know what we are doing. Like I said, we are dealing with engineers, people who have worked for so many years. They have the experience, and my goal here is to bring them to you and is to motivate you to also do something, back home. When I came to Europe for the first time and I saw how much people were earning at the end of the month and they were not doing anything, especially the young guys. That's why I created this channel, that this is what you can do with the little money you have, step by step. So if this is something that you are interested in, then this is the channel for you. Subscribe to the channel and follow our step-by-step guide of building a house. Not necessarily you have to use us, but if you listen to the things I'm sharing, my tips, and the guidelines and things that we are doing for clients here on the channel, I believe you can build your own house using the right team or forming your own team. It's all about communication. So then I think this brings us to the end of today's episode. I really do appreciate your time spent here on the channel. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next episode. Look at do we